Every gardener knows that feeling. You pour your heart and soul into a little patch of earth. You dream of vibrant flowers. You dream of fresh, homegrown vegetables. You spend weekends turning the soil. You plant tiny seeds with so much hope. But then, the struggles begin. Pesky weeds sprout up overnight, stronger and faster than anything you planted. They take over, choking out your delicate seedlings. It feels like a constant battle. You pull, you dig. They always come back with a vengeance, leaving you feeling defeated. Then there's the soil itself. Sometimes it's hard and clay-like, so dense water just pools on top. Your plant roots can't breathe or find room to grow. Or maybe your soil is sandy and loose. Water just drains away. Your plants look thirsty and frail. It's a frustrating cycle. You amend, you water, you feed, but the ground just won't cooperate. It's like building on a shaky foundation. This is where many of us get discouraged. We see lush gardens in magazines. We see them on TV. We wonder what their secret is. But it's not you. It's almost always the soil. The health of your garden starts from the ground up. Before plants can thrive, you need living soil. You need breathing soil. You need healthy soil. The good news, there are simple, wonderful ways to fix this. It doesn't require a lot of money or some secret, complicated formula. It just requires a little patience and one very surprising everyday material. When we talk about improving our garden soil, one word almost always comes to mind: compost. It's that beautiful, dark, crumbly stuff, black gold. We are taught adding compost to beds is the key to success. It enriches the soil. It feeds the plants. It helps create that perfect, loamy texture. Turning kitchen scraps and yard waste into compost feels good. It's a wonderful cycle of renewal in our backyards. Making your own compost is a noble effort. However, let's be honest, composting isn't always a walk in the park. It can be slow, a year or more. It requires space not everyone has. Turning the pile can be heavy, sweaty work. If the balance is off, it can attract pests, or it can develop an unpleasant odor. Even then, you might not produce enough to cover all your beds. Buying compost is another option, but it has challenges. It can be expensive for large amounts. You have to trust the source. You don't always know what's in the bag. It could contain persistent herbicides or weed seeds. So while compost is life-giving, it isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It can be slow. It can be labor-intensive. And sometimes it just isn't enough for big soil problems. So if compost isn't the whole answer, what is? I want you to picture something you probably have in your home right now. It might be in your garage, waiting for recycling day. Simple, brown, something we usually just toss aside. I'm talking about plain, ordinary cardboard. It might sound a little crazy at first. How could a simple packing box be the secret to a thriving garden? Too simple. Too good to be true? Sometimes the most profound solutions are the most beautifully simple. This technique is called sheet mulching, also called lasagna gardening. Think of it as laying down a biodegradable blanket over your soil. You aren't digging, you aren't tilling, you aren't spending hours pulling weeds. You're working with nature, not against it. Let's imagine two garden beds, side by side, both starting with the same tired, weedy soil. In one bed, we decide to go the traditional route. We spend a weekend digging in several bags of store-bought compost. It's hard work, mixing it into the dense clay. We plant our seedlings. For a few weeks, things look pretty good. The plants have that initial boost of nutrients. But soon, the old problems start to creep back in. Dormant weed seeds deep in the soil, brought to the surface by our digging, begin to sprout. We're back to pulling weeds every few days. Over time, the benefits of that one-time compost application start to fade. The soil slowly compacts again under the hot sun and heavy rains. The organic matter gets used up by the plants, or washes away. To keep the soil healthy, we'd need to add more compost, season after season. It becomes an ongoing cycle of amending and tilling. While the compost certainly helps, it acts more like a temporary fix, a vitamin shot for the soil. It doesn't fully address underlying weed pressure and poor soil life. Now let's look at the second garden bed, the one where we used cardboard. We didn't dig at all. We simply laid down our cardboard sheets right on top of the grass and weeds. We soaked it with water. We covered it with a layer of mulch, or we covered it with topsoil. Then we planted right into it. From day one, there is almost no weeding to do. The cardboard barrier is smothering the old growth. Our new plants have no competition for sunlight, no competition for water or nutrients. They can put all their energy into growing strong and healthy from the very beginning. Beneath that cardboard layer, a quiet miracle is happening. Earthworms and beneficial microbes are hard at work, breaking down the cardboard and the smothered weeds. They are aerating the soil, creating a rich, spongy structure that holds moisture beautifully. The soil isn't just being fed, it is being rebuilt. Alright, are you ready to give this a try? Honestly, it's wonderfully simple. So the first step is to gather your materials. You'll need cardboard, lots of it. Look for plain brown boxes without glossy finishes or colored inks. Shipping boxes are perfect. Remove all the plastic tape and labels. You'll also need a water source, like a hose. And you'll need something to put on top. Topsoil, wood chips, shredded leaves, straw. Next, prepare your garden bed area. Don't pull the weeds, don't till the soil, don't break your back digging, just mow, or trim the grass and weeds as low as you can. Cut back any tough woody plants to the ground. This no-dig approach is easy on your body and great for the soil. Now lay down your hero. Place your cardboard sheets directly on the prepared area. Overlap edges by at least 6 inches. Cut cardboard to fit snugly around plants you want to keep. Once the layer is down, soak it with a hose. Get it completely saturated, like a wet sponge. Immediately cover the area with your chosen top layer. Add about 3 to 6 inches. Mulch, straw, soil. The top dressing weighs the cardboard down, keeps it moist, and gives a finished look. You can plant right away. Cut an X and place your plant into the soil below. The cardboard layer becomes a powerful barrier. It blocks sunlight, the one thing weeds need. Without light, they simply can't survive. As the cardboard blanket sits, it starts a slow transformation. It invites the good things into your garden. Earthworms, those incredible little tillers, love cardboard. They are drawn to the dark, moist environment it creates. They come up to nibble on decomposing paper. As they move, they make pathways for air and water, loosening compacted ground. A slow-release feast for your soil. Over a season, the cardboard breaks down completely. It turns into rich organic matter, adding carbon where it's needed. You're composting in place. No bin, no turning. Building soil from the top down, dark, moist, alive. It mimics a forest floor, layers of leaves and organic debris. One of the most immediate and joyful benefits you'll discover is freedom from weeding. It feels almost like magic. The thick, light-blocking layer of cardboard is simply more than most weeds can handle. That endless, back-breaking chore of pulling dandelions and thistle becomes a thing of the past. You might see a stray weed pop up here and there through your mulch, but they are usually weak and easy to pull. This means you get to spend your time in the garden doing the things you love, planting, tending, harvesting, instead of constantly battling unwanted growth. Beyond the weed control, the most profound benefit is what happens to your soil. The cardboard method builds incredible soil health from the top down. As the cardboard and the green material underneath it decompose, they create a feast for microorganisms and earthworms. These tiny workers are the true heroes of any garden. They aerate the soil, create channels for water and roots, and leave behind rich castings that are a perfect natural fertilizer. Your soil becomes more alive every single day. It develops a beautiful, spongy structure that can hold on to moisture, which means you'll need to water less often. This method is also a beautiful act of sustainability. You are taking a waste product, a cardboard box that would otherwise be thrown away or recycled, and turning it into a valuable resource. You are diverting waste from the landfill and using it to create life. Furthermore, because you are not tilling, you are preserving the delicate ecosystem that already exists within the soil. Tilling can destroy fungal networks and kill beneficial organisms. The no-dig cardboard method respects and nurtures this hidden world, leading to a more resilient and self-sustaining garden ecosystem. Ultimately, all of this leads to healthier, happier plants. When your plants don't have to compete with weeds for resources, and when their roots can spread easily through rich, moist, living soil, they thrive. You'll notice stronger stems, greener leaves, more abundant flowers, and fruit. Your garden becomes more resilient to pests and diseases because the plants are fundamentally stronger. It's a holistic approach that nurtures the entire system, from the tiniest microbe to the tallest sunflower. So I encourage you, give it a try. Start with one small bed, grab a box, lay it down, and see what happens. As you start your cardboard gardening journey, a few little things will help ensure your success. Be a little picky about your cardboard. Always remove plastic tape, stickers, shipping labels. They won't break down. They'll leave little bits of plastic in the soil. Avoid glossy coatings, heavy, colorful inks. Most modern inks are soy-based and safe, but stick with plain brown cardboard. The simpler, the better. Be generous with your layers. Don't be shy. One thin layer might not stop aggressive perennial weeds. If dealing with tough grass like Bermuda or stubborn deep-rooted weeds, use at least 2 overlapping layers. Same for top dressing. Use a thick mulch, 4 to 6 inches. It suppresses opportunistic weeds, retains moisture, keeps the cardboard from drying out. A thin layer won't give the same results. Now what about planting? If planting larger seedlings or plants from a nursery, you can do it right away. Use a knife to cut an X through the cardboard and mulch layers. Dig a small hole in the soil below, add a little compost or good soil, give the plant a nice start, then place your plant inside. But for tiny seeds like carrots or lettuce, be patient. Set up the bed in fall, let it sit all winter. By spring, the top layer will soften and start breaking down, creating the perfect seed bed. Finally, a heads up about a temporary guest. Decomposing cardboard pulp can temporarily tie up some nitrogen in the soil. This is a natural part of the process. If plants look a bit yellow in the first few months, it may be a slight nitrogen deficiency. Fix it by adding a nitrogen-rich amendment around your plants. Blood meal, cottonseed meal, liquid fish emulsion. This gives them the boost they need while the soil ecosystem finds its balance. There is a quiet and deep satisfaction that comes from this method of gardening. It's a process that teaches you patience and trust in nature. After you've laid down your cardboard and your mulch, there's a period of waiting. On the surface, it just looks like a neat and tidy garden bed. But you know that underneath there is a whole world of activity. As the weeks and months go by, you'll start to see the evidence of this magic. You'll notice how the ground feels different when you walk on it. Softer, more sponge-like. After a rain, you'll see how the water soaks in evenly instead of running off. When you do go to plant something new, your trowel will sink into the earth with a satisfying ease. You won't hit hard, compacted clay or a tangle of roots. Instead, you'll find dark, crumbly soil that smells sweet and earthy. You'll see the earthworms, fat and happy, and know that you created this haven for them. This is a journey that connects you more deeply to the seasons and the natural cycles of decay and renewal. Preparing a bed in the fall with cardboard and fallen leaves feels like tucking your garden in for the winter. And when spring arrives, the unveiling is a true joy. Peeling back a corner of the mulch to find that the cardboard has all but vanished, leaving behind perfect plant-ready soil, is one of the most rewarding moments a gardener can experience. It feels like you've uncovered a treasure. This process changes your perspective. You stop seeing soil as just dirt, as a simple medium to hold up your plants. You start to see it as a living, breathing entity, the true heart of your garden. You learn that building a great garden isn't about fighting against nature, but about creating the conditions for nature to do its best work. It's about feeding the soil, not just the plants. This shift in thinking is the real gift of the cardboard method. It turns you from just a planter into a true nurturer of the land. So, if you've ever felt that twinge of frustration with your garden, if you've ever felt discouraged by endless weeds or difficult soil, I want you to look at that stack of cardboard boxes in a new light. Don't see it as trash to be hauled away. See it as potential. See it as the beginning of a new story for your garden. It represents a simpler, gentler, more effective way to cultivate the earth. It is a promise of less work and more joy of healthier soil and more vibrant plants. It's a fresh start, waiting for you. You don't need to be an expert gardener with years of experience to try this. In fact, this is the perfect method for a beginner. There's no heavy digging, no complicated compost science, and no big financial investment. All you need is a little bit of curiosity and a willingness to try something different. It's about letting go of the idea that gardening has to be hard work and embracing a method that is both easy and incredibly effective. It's about building a foundation for success, right from the very start. Imagine your garden next year. Picture it free of weeds, with soil so rich and full of life that everything you plant just thrives. Imagine spending your summer afternoons enjoying the beauty you've created, not pulling weeds in the hot sun. This isn't a far-off dream, it is completely achievable. The path to that garden can start today with a simple cardboard box. It's a small step that can lead to a profound transformation in the way you garden and the results you see. So I encourage you, give it a try. Start with one small bed. Grab a box, lay it down, and see what happens. Let nature be your partner. Trust in the slow, quiet magic that happens just beneath the surface. You might be surprised to find that the secret to the garden of your dreams isn't in a bag or a bottle, but in something you are about to throw away. Happy gardening, and I can't wait to see what beautiful things you grow.